and welcome to another episode of the CattleUSA Daily Podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that I have some background knowledge and expertise in. And as spring is coming around and a lot of producers are starting to, either you're selling bulls, you have bull sales coming up, or you're starting to sell off calves, heifers, whatever it may be, a lot of people are having sales this spring. And not everyone makes the decision to hire a professional photo and video team. And I want to take some time today to give you guys some tips and just some of my knowledge as a person that spent multiple years of my life videoing and picturing sale cattle, specifically bull sales, things like that, ones where you're doing 200, 300 head, things like that. And even if that's not you, this is still going to be great knowledge for you to just figure out how to take this handy dandy little thing, your cell phone, and still take a really good video, because it is possible. We have such great technology these days that, like, why not lean into that in opportunities where you can? Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say first and foremost that I recommend hiring a photo and video team if you are able to. I still do it. I know several other people within the industry that do it and are great at their job. But if you are someone who maybe you're just selling a cow-calf pair, or you want to figure out how to do it yourself just to have that knowledge in your bank, hang around for a little bit and I'm going to give you some of my pointers. So first and foremost, the environment that you are doing these in matters. It absolutely matters. From just a visual aspect, when you're selling something, it's important for it to have a good background. Think of it like you're taking a product image. You're not going to take a product image in the back lot of McDonald's. You're going to take a product image in a professional studio. Think of doing photo and video the same way. You need a professional setting to be able to present your product, which is your cattle, to the public and to potential buyers. All of those things. It's really important. So when I say check your environment, get a pen set up, put out a few bales of straw, put it in an area that doesn't have a lot of stuff in the background, isn't going to create a bunch of distractions, things like that. So first and foremost, make sure that looks good. Now, if you want a smooth experience for the cattle, I always recommend having a curved pen of some sort where you can stand right in the middle of it and then have a curve in front of you that the sun is going to be behind you as the photo and video person. You want the sun behind you, not behind the cows. So you want it directly behind you whenever you are taking these photos and videos. That's just going to accentuate the angles and everything the best on cattle. It's going to make the photo look the best, the least amount of editing that you have to do later, all of that jazz. So you want the sun behind you as the photo and video person. You want the cow up near the fence or something like that. It's best if it's rounded and curved. If you don't have that opportunity, that's fine too. First and foremost, just make sure it looks clean, put together, and professional. If you have no experience doing this, go to an online sales site and spend a few minutes just perusing the sales that are currently online. And those are going to give you some great examples of what it means to have an area that isn't super busy with a lot of things in the background, a clean space, what straw is going to do, all of that sort of stuff for this video and picture pen. So you've got a clean environment. Next, let's talk about the animals. Now, in every situation, is it necessary to clip and torch and wash or do all of these things to these animals? No, but it's also going to help. Is it required that you hire a photo video team? No, but it's going to help your photos. So same with this. Is it required? No, but it's going to make your cattle look better. So it's important that you consider hiring a professional that can come clip and torch your bulls, heifers, whatever you're going to be doing, to quickly just be able to put them together a little bit nicer than if they were just coming off of a dry lot or stuff like that. Now, if you are selling a cow-calf pair and they're out on pasture right now and they're perfectly clean and put together and they don't have a bunch of scruff on them, then they might not need it, and that's totally okay. But I want you to kind of take off your seller glasses and put on your buyer glasses for a minute and ask yourself, do these cattle represent what they look like in real life with the way that they are currently presented to me? If they do, great. If they could look better, then maybe consider hiring that team to come and do that and help you out there. And if that's something that you want to learn how to do yourself, there's a lot of really great people out there that can teach you how to do that yourself as well, or at least just kind of help you clean them up a little bit, because you will not catch me washing 300 head of sale bulls. but I will be clipping and torching them. Now, if it was a club calf sale or something like that, we're washing, blowing, doing a whole shebang. I'm not doing that for commercial cattle though. So take and leave what you need and what fits for your operation as far as preparing the animals go. So you've got all of that set. Again, it's important. Try and do it on a sunny day. Try and do it in a nice weather. Not only is it going to make your life better, it's going to make the lives of the cattle better as well. Like, you're all going to enjoy the experience a lot more. Next thing, when the day comes around, make sure you have more help than you think that you need. So if you're in a video and picture pen, I always recommend I try and have at least 3 other people with me. So I have one person at each end of the pen, so that way that animal can get pushed back and forth really easily. And then I also have someone with me helping me as the video and picture person. And then it's even better if you have another person that can push cattle in and pull cattle out. The more help, the better. It's going to make the day go by quicker. Don't try and do this by yourself. Genuinely, don't try and do it by yourself. With that, also do not try and just do this out in the pasture. I understand there are certain situations where if you have a cow-calf pair out on pasture, you're just selling them, or you're just trying to get a good video of a calf while it's still on the cow or something like that. That's totally fine. Like, that's a different scenario. But your life is going to be a lot easier if you have a controlled environment where you can move these animals around at will and not have to kind of be up to the odds and the gods on what that animal's going to do that day, how they're going to react, and you don't have to go chasing them off of Timbuktu to try and get this photo and video that you need to be able to sell them and market your operation and things like that. The other thing to consider is, even if you decide not to sell that animal this year or something like that, I still find it important to, if you have a really good bull this year, a really good cow-calf pair, things like that, take some time out of your day to go take a photo of them. It's really great to have just in the bank for when you need marketing material and stuff like that. I know on our operation, whenever we sell bulls or stuff like that, it's really nice to be able to have that calf picture as well. Just to represent, like, hey, if it's a Cavanese bull, hey, this is what he looked like at 3 months old on the cow, and then this is what he looked like at weaning, showing that birth weight versus the weaning weight. Things like that can just give a little bit more of a visual representation. So even if you're not selling these animals, if you have a good one in the herd this year, take some time to go take a photo of them. The weather is gorgeous right now, so you might as well, right? Okay. Next thing, let's talk angles. This is so important, and this is what's going to make or break your photo. All right. So take some time to go and study professional images. First and foremost, that is what I recommend to everyone. The more you look at them, the more that you're just going to be able to see it in the moment. I always recommend, just as kind of a rule of thumb, this is not for every single animal, understanding that every single animal's structure, positioning, everything is different animal to animal. So is this going to be copy and paste to everyone? No. But this is kind of just a good starting point. And then as stockmen, you should be able to look at a photo and be like, this one's better than this one, or this is why we shot this at this angle, because this hip structure on this heifer is different. So we shot at this angle. Okay, so rule of thumb is you shoot hip height with the animal. So cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, whatever it may be, you're shooting at hip height. So wherever their hip is, that's where I want your camera to be, at the same level. Okay. Next, find their navel and step back about a foot, and you're going to be shooting at that angle. Typically, are there some animals that I shoot 2 feet further back? Yes. Are there some animals that I shoot right at the navel? Absolutely. Are there some that I shoot a foot in front of the navel? Yes. But most of your cattle are going to be navel and then about a foot back. And so you're shooting at a tiny bit of an angle forward. Okay. So hip height, find the navel, about a foot to 2-3 feet back is where you're going to kind of be for most of these photos. Biggest thing, if you're shooting a calf, if you're shooting a calf that just got weaned, or you're shooting a new, whatever it may be, if you're shooting a 3-year-old bull, you're going to be at a different height than you are if you're shooting a calf that just got weaned. Okay. It's really important. All too often, I am looking at these sale websites and people are shooting down on animals. It's not flattering for anyone, genuinely. Like, for any animal, it's not flattering shooting at a hard down angle. So it's easy for us to go out there, and as a 5'10" person, for me, I'm putting my phone up to my face right here, and I'm like, oh, yep, that looks good, because I don't want to bend over and bend my back. Bend over, get to hip height, and get down on that animal. With that, don't go below hip height. We don't need to see their underbelly or anything like that. But get to that hip height, don't be afraid of bending down, and use your resources where you have them. Now, when it comes to taking a video, I always recommend sale videos be anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. You don't typically need more than that. So the amount of down and backs that you have is going to depend on how big your pen is. So if you have a 30-foot pen, you may only need 6 of them, 3 each way. But you might have an animal come in and they're faster. They're walking faster. So you need to take more video footage. That just totally depends on the animal and depends on the amount of space that you have. So I recommend just taking some time, get extra footage. It's never bad to have more than what you need. That way you have it. But at least get one good up and one good down. Call it a day. If you're doing 300 head, that is all I am doing in a video pen in one day because I got to move through them quickly. Now, if I'm doing 10 head that day, I might try and get 5 or 6 up and downs just to really represent that animal the best that I can. For me, when I'm going and editing these videos and stuff, I personally use Adobe products to be able to edit them. So Adobe Premiere Pro. But if you're just an everyday person and you just need to plop a video together, a platform like CapCut or iMovie or whatever it may be is gonna do just fine as well. Just make sure you cut in and out the best that you can. Throw a simple transition in there and call it a day. Or, you know what? If you're a person that just wants to continuously video for a minute and a half of that animal walking up and down and you don't want to do any video editing at the end, that is totally fine too. Totally fine. Whatever works for you in your operation. The biggest thing with this, guys, is find ways that you can improve slowly over time. So if you don't have anyone doing it and your daughter's doing it, your son's doing it, whatever, just on their cell phone right now, that's totally fine. Send this to them and be like, hey, maybe we need to look at our angles this year. Or maybe this year when we're selling cattle, we need to look at our pen structure and making that smoother or just prettier and more appealing to the public and things like that. There's a lot of ways that you can start to improve photo and videos just on your phones in really simple, easy steps that isn't going to take a bunch of extra time. So at the end of the day, you don't need big, fancy, thousands of dollars worth of equipment or a big video and picture team. And you know what? My colleagues are probably going to be listening to this. They're going to be like, Lauren, why are you saying that? We want them to hire us. And yes, at the end of the day, we want cattlemen to hire us to come out to video and picture. But also, at the end of the day, I want the cattle industry represented well. And so I want to equip all of you guys with this information to be able to go out and, you know what, if you're just out in the pasture one day, cubing, feeding, checking, whatever you may be doing, and you have a really great cow-calf pair right there, I want you to be able to take out your cell phone and take a really darn good photo to be able to post on Facebook. All right? Like, even if that's all that you're listening to this for, that is totally fine. That is totally fine. So, in recap of everything, and I could probably talk about this for like 30 more minutes if I'm being really honest, and if I didn't cover something and you have questions, this was super high level. So like if I didn't cover anything that you have a question about, please feel free to DM me on any of my social media platforms or something, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions, help you guys, anything that may be, because this was pretty high level, just like surface level stuff. So in recap, make sure you have a really great environment, prep the animals the best that you can, get your angles right, and make sure the sun is behind you. And you're going to have a really good photo or video at the end of the day, because our cell phones have drastically increased in their quality over recent years. And we might as well be taking good photos if we're going to be taking them. So again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I am more than happy to continue answering your guys' questions. DM me, blow up my emails, whatever it may be. More than happy to help. And as always, happy Friday. It is gorgeous here in Kansas today. So I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my day out in the sunshine. And I hope that you guys have a blessed and amazing weekend. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, rate, review. I know I say it every single day, but truly, truly, it means a lot to me. I appreciate it. We appreciate it here at the team. If this was really beneficial to you, or you know someone who might benefit from this episode, send it over to them. And then they can ask me questions or whatever it may be. We appreciate you guys here at the team. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday and an amazing weekend. And we will see you all on Monday on another episode. We'll see y'all later.